Hey everyone, Ron Gasparetto here. And in this video today, I want to talk to you about how do you make a big decision in your life? Those times in your life where there's big change happening, or you're introducing big change into your life, or you just come to a crossroads in your life. How do you go about making those big decisions? Now, it could be in a career where you've been in a career so long and you know you need to move on, or you're finally looking to open that business that you've been talking about for so long and you really, I need to open that business, but how do I go about it? How do I make that decision to finally move forward? Or it could be that you've been in a relationship that you just know it's time to end, and you just don't know how to move forward from that. How do you go about making those big decisions in your life, those life-changing decisions? Well, I have three ideas, three sort of big concepts that I think are sort of the anchor, the foundational point in making any big decision in your life. Now, the first idea, and it's pretty basic, but most people don't do this, is when you're making a big decision in your life, you need to make that decision from a calm, centered, sort of aligned space inside of you. You have to get quiet inside. You have to stop that chatter that keeps going on in your mind all the time, that endless chatter that we sort of live with all the time in our lives. We have to take the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm out of our system and quiet ourselves and make our decisions from that space. Because if you don't make your decision from a quiet, aligned, centered, if you will, space, what I call your true self, if you don't make it from there, you're making sort of an irrational, emotional, sort of out of line for who you really are decision, because it's really not who you are. You're in that state of overwhelm and anxiety, and you're being spontaneous in your decision. And oftentimes those decisions, and we've all experienced this, they just don't turn out that well, because these stress hormones, this high state of anxiety inside of us, sort of cuts off the part of our brain that we need to make those clear decisions. We're actually making decisions what they call from a high beta state. And like I said, it severs that part of our brain, just temporarily, if you will, that allows us to make those rational, clear, concise decisions. But when you're in that sort of quiet, aligned, sort of centered space inside of you, you're actually lowering the volume of that activity in your brain, what they call to that alpha brainwave state, where you're actually accessing the parts of your brain where you can make those clear, concise decisions. So there's actually science behind this of why you need to get into that sort of, like I said, that aligned space to make those clear decisions. And again, we all sort of know that. We all sort of intuitively know that I can't make this big life-changing decision when I'm all stressed and full of anxiety and overwhelmed. But ironically, I mean, those are the states that we're usually in when we're making those decisions, because it involves big change, and big change oftentimes brings with it stress, anxiety, overwhelm, fear, doubt, all those negative emotions. So we have to really be conscious of, okay, I know change is happening, and I know these emotions are happening inside of me, but I can't make that decision right now from this state. I need to sort of take a step back, quiet myself, find my center, get calm inside, and now I can make that decision. And for many, it might take a process to get to that state. It may take a few days, it may take a few weeks, it may take a little time. I find myself that I use meditation. Meditation is a strong tool that I use to calm myself really on a daily basis so I can start making better decisions, day-to-day decisions in my life. Now, a lot of people who don't meditate and don't practice some kind of sort of yoga or wherever it is, meditation, just contemplative stuff, if you will, to sort of quiet yourself. If you're not used to doing that right now in your life, get into that practice, because you'll need it at those times in your life where you need to make those big decisions. So I really encourage you that if you're looking to make that big decision in your life, that you really look to where you are when you're making that decision. Where's your state? Where are you mentally, emotionally? How are you feeling in your body when you're making those decisions? Get relaxed, get comfortable, get calm, get peaceful inside, and make your decisions from that state. Now, the second point, and a big point, I would say, in making a big decision in your life is to just decide. Because so many people in their lives know they need to make a big decision, know they have changed and they need to make a change in their lives, but they sit on that proverbial fence. I've been there before. I've done that many times in my life, and I know how painful that can be emotionally, where you just, weeks go by, months go by, years go by sometimes for people, and they just don't move forward with that decision, even though intuitively in their gut they know they need to move on. They know they need to make that decision, but they sort of stay in that place of that no man's land, if you will, where they're not going this way or they're not going that way. They're talking about it. They're discussing it with their friends over dinner, day after day, like I say, week after week, month after month, and nothing happens. Be decisive. Make that decision, because when you do that, you're empowering yourself. You're giving you that sense of, okay, I've made that decision and here we go. Here I go. I can handle this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to move forward. Be decisive. Make that decision. When you do that as well, you're also sending a signal to the universe. You're going to find it. You probably already experienced this in your life. When you make those decisions, coincidence, if you will, start happening in your life. The right people show up, the right circumstances, the right events. Things start happening in your life that mirror and that help that decision to move forward. So make that decision. Move forward. The third part of this is, again, very simple and sort of flows from this, is when you finally come to make that decision, embrace it. Really jump in and put all your energy and all your focus into that decision. Because again, so often in our lives, once we finally make that decision, we spend so much of our time questioning that decision. Was it the right decision? Did I make the right move? I know so many people who have made career changes from one career to the next, or even within the same company. They've accepted a job promotion, and they spend the next weeks and months looking back and talking about, did I make the right decision? Was it the right one? Maybe I shouldn't have done. Don't put your energy into that. Make the decision and start making a list. Sit down with a piece of paper, start writing up all the positive aspects of this new decision, this new career, this new relationship, this new life if you've just ended a relationship. What are the positive aspects of this new energy moving forward, if you will? Don't sit there and talk about the old stuff. Forget about the old stuff. You've made the decision. Move forward. Move that energy forward. You don't want to spend the rest of your life talking about something that happened in the past and how life was so great back then, when you've already sort of partially started to move your energy, move forward. Don't partially move forward. Jump in full force. Go for that full energy. Embrace the positive aspects of the decision you just made. Because guess what? There's going to be a new decision down the road anyway. So whatever road you decide to go on, it's not going to be the last big decision you've made in your life. There's going to be another big decision from there, and then another one, and another one. That's what we call life. So you just got to embrace the decision you're on, move forward, full energy, and you're going to find that things are going to really start working out when you put your focus, your mind, your heart, your full body, if you will, every day into the decision that you've just made, and you truly integrate it into your whole being. That's the decision. I'm moving forward with that. So I hope this served you a little bit when those moments in your life when you need to make a big decision. I hope you sort of run these through you in your mind, that you're making that decision from a quiet, still, positive space, that you're making a rational, soft, sort of a peaceful place inside of you. You're making that decision from that space, that you finally decide to make the decision and you're moving forward with it, and you're going to embrace it. You're not going to dabble into that relationship. You're going to list out the positive aspects. You're not going to talk about the past. You're not going to talk about what you just left behind. You're going to move forward with that decision full force. So again, I hope this served you a little bit. I hope that helps you with your next big decision as you move forward. And until next time, I invite you to go out there every single day of your life and live your best life from your true and your real self with a loving heart, an open mind, and a joyous spirit.